Hey guys, it's your boy Deepo. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well. And just over a month to go until we can burn the heretic, kill the mutant, and purge the unclean. Guys, today we're going to discuss why Space Marine 2 is going to be the best Warhammer 40k game ever made, period. Now, we'll be drawing a lot of comparison with Helldivers 2, given that this will also be, will be featured as a live service game. It shares similar base of operations. Hell, matter of fact, it even features operations very similar to Helldivers 2. So, safe to say that Helldivers 2 can be used as a baseline and also as a comparison for this. And to be completely fair, as a live service game, you know, Helldivers 2 is freaking amazing, minus the controversies they had with PlayStation Game Pass, but that has nothing to do with the game itself, okay? Nothing to do with the game itself. Now, without further ado, let's crack into it. Alright, so first things first, let's discuss the setting itself. These developers have decades and decades of lore to draw on. Warhammer 40k is perhaps the richest lore out of any franchise in existence, and specifically the Tyranids themselves have been around for almost 3 decades now, so the developer team have so much material to draw inspiration from. You know, they can just focus on bringing it to life rather than coming with you know, brand new inventions and brand new things. So that's one thing. Two, if you look at the art style, if you look at the enemies themselves, you can tell that they you know, they're trying to appease the fans here, and they're pretty much following the law, both from an aesthetic perspective, but also from a rich background perspective as well. So let's discuss the tyrannies themselves. I just finished the Devastation of Baal. So for those who are familiar with the 40k universe, Baal is the world of the Blood Angels. What you're seeing on the screen is the Ultramarines. They're colleagues. So Baal as a system was invaded by a High Fleet Leviathan, and that's just one tendril of the Tyranid swarm. So the Tyranids, they're called the Hive Mind because they all work in unison. It's not one sort of big bad Tyranid ruling them all, but it's a collective. It's like one mind, and that one mind pretty much enslaves and controls all of them. Now, why do I think this game is gonna blow Helldivers out of the water? Because this is the OG, right? Tyranids are the OG, whereas Helldivers is a cheap parody of Starship Troopers, albeit a very good parody of that. Helldivers has been better than anything, you know, Starship Troopers has been able to bring forward. But hey, this is gonna be next level. Just look at the detail and the way the swarm just, you know, works in unison and charges at you. There's going to be so many different enemy types. The way the Tyranids work is every time they consume a world, they absorb the genetic material and they evolve. Every time they fail a mission, they evolve their strategies instead. So expect to see many different enemies with many different mechanics trying to flank you, trying to outmaneuver you, so on and so on. And that's one of the reasons why I think, just based on the enemy alone, this is going to be so much fun. Rather than fighting the same type of enemy over and over again, the developers have so much to choose from here, it's not even funny. Now that we've covered the setting itself, let's discuss the actual gameplay. So what can you expect to see here? Well, let me tell you, I'm going to draw a comparison to Helldivers 2 again, because there you squish a lot of big bugs in any way that you see fit, and this is going to be no different. Albeit the gameplay feels a lot more like Gears of War as compared to Helldivers 2, but the objective is the same, right? You're given a lot of tools at your disposal that you can, you know, call up at any time, change your loadouts, so on and so on, to get the job done. And fun is really the name of the game here, right? You have a blast doing it. You head out there with your teammates, by yourself, whether you want to do campaign or you want to do missions by yourself, but you will need to work in unison to defeat the enemies, and you'll have different classes with different weapons. They'll give you different abilities. You know, you have your traditional bolters, your heavy bolters, chainswords, power axes, power fists, shields, you name it, this game has it, and it's true to the lore. It's not like they've gone and invented lightsabers. They haven't. This is all in the lore, and it's there for you to use it. You can pretty much, you know, set up any way you see fit, customize the way you play. The option is there for you. Now, weapons and armor types is not the only thing that's customizable. You'll also be able to customize your operation centers, where you have different cooldowns, where you'll be able to upgrade any stuff. Once again, same to Helldivers 2, right? Your command of operations has its perks, and you'll be able to, over time, to develop these via resources or whatever the case may be. So you'll be dropping to different operations, collecting resources, upgrading your center of operations, upgrading your armor, upgrading your weapons. So it gives you an incentive to head out there and explore the game while you become more powerful and take on tougher challenges. So this is all out of a, you know, it's textbook life service game. You know, it's just that Helldivers 2 did it really, really well. Once again, let's just not focus on the controversies the game sort of brought upon itself, but more so on the gameplay itself, where it's fun, it's fluid, the game doesn't feel cheap, it's well balanced, and I expect this to be the exact same way because, hey, if everything is put on a plate for them to succeed, there's no freaking way they can screw this up. But Deempo, in the past, we've had many sucky Warhammer games. Yes, we have, but most of them have had absolutely crappy budgets, right? And you know, I can only name one or two that's actually been really good, with Rogue Trader being the best one to come out in recent years. Now let's discuss one thing that Space Marine 2 will have that Helldivers 2 didn't, at least at launch it didn't, and that's campaign. So what can you expect to see here? And I think this is going to be typical like any other blockbuster game, be it Halo or Gears of War. You're going to see massive battle sequences, lots of expensive cutscenes. You're going to see different terrains, you're going to have space battles, you're going to have land battles, you're going to have, you know, an emotional roller coaster of an experience. There's going to probably be like betrayals, or there's going to be tragedies. You know, by now, you know what to expect from a single player campaign from a game of this size and budget. However, that's not what I think necessarily where the game will truly shine, and I think where this game will truly shine is going to be the co-op and the versus, like the multiplayer itself. Now let's focus on multiplayer for a second. You know how I said they had decades of lore to draw on for the Tyranids? Now they have even more lore to draw on for the Heretic Space Marine, also known as Chaos Space Marines, right? You have the Death Guard, you have the Word Bearers, there's gonna be, you know, the Black Legion. There's gonna be so many of them to choose from. And this is gonna be freaking awesome. Every Space Marine is gonna feel authentic. They're gonna have their own unique armors, their own unique themes. And I cannot wait, honestly. Like, I think this is for the first time in a very long time that we've seen a Warhammer 40k game of this magnitude that's true to the source material. And they can offer us an authentic look into the archenemy and the archenemy Space Marines, really. So for those who are new to Warhammer, there's 4 Chaos Gods. And in the past, these Chaos Gods managed to seduce one of the Primarch sons, and then the whole heresy happened, and now you have a Space Marine Legion dedicated to each of these Chaos Gods, really, in a nutshell. So you have Khorne, who has the Khornate Berserkers, you have the Death Guard, which worship Nurgle, you have the Space Marine Sorcerers, who are true to Tzeentch. Tzeentch is the god of change, and then also there is the Perverse God, Slaanesh, who's like, you know, the Keeper of Secrets and the Keeper of Pleasures, whatever you want to call it, right? So stay tuned. This is going to be an absolute blast. Personally, I like the Death Guard. Just something about them being disgusting and dedicated to Nurgle. I can, you know, relate to myself. I'm just kidding. But this is going to be an absolute blast, guys. Honestly, I cannot wait. Now, what is the downside to this? The downside is the fact that the game leaked early, and there is going to be apparently more than 500 people that downloaded it. And if these people, you know, have, you know, a month or two before the game releases, then that's pretty bad news for everyone that's pretty much gonna, that wants to enjoy the multiplayer on launch day, because these guys, you know, will be like a month ahead of the curve. But I don't think that's gonna be a game-breaking experience. But still, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. So anyways, that's the quick overview I wanted to show you for this video. I'm super excited. I'll continue to deep dive into the game further as time goes on. As always, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate your time. And if you do enjoy the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope to catch you next video. Peace.